tank picks
Tank
have
picks
begun.
are going.
So here's the tank picks. Attacking team starts with 2. The defending team on the bottom starts with 4. After that, then it's 3 on the attack team. Then 2 on the bottom. You can see the little question marks, and this is the way that they ready up tanks. So they have an option to kind of pick, counter pick. This has been going on the whole season. And double I7 beginning with Burbo, the double Super Conqueror, double VZ from Tomatitos. And now we see the final tanks picked.
And so another thing to take away from it is like the map picks. Tomatitos, they must have something special planned for Himmels, because I feel like they've always been weaker than the other top teams on it, personally.
Yeah, I agree completely. They seem... It's one of those maps that's an odd one to have as your weakness, but yeah, I think Burbology haven't looked like super duper strong on it, but yeah, I think that Burbology looked much stronger than Tomatitos on it, and here we
also,
go.
Starting off with Tundra is a really interesting map too. We didn't.
Yeah, I don't think we started with that.
When have we ever started with
season,
Tundra?
Maybe the beginning of the season, and we saw like some close games on this, and whether or not it's like we said at the beginning was very defensively favored, and now I'm not so sure anymore, because like if the attacking team is able to get into the South without too much punish, they seem to hold all of the cards in their hands, because they have to prevent a North play.
It's become a predominantly South play too. Like I feel like
North
if a
just
team
gets spotted so easy, yeah,
and I feel like if a team doesn't set up like really hard South, especially defense, I feel like they just kind of are throwing, because it's so rare for you to see a one cap play, and the only time you can do a one cap play is you have to push across to the A line. And I feel like pushing K line is always safer than pushing A line, even if they're set up for a K line punish. Like we saw a team set up for a K line punish on Wednesday, and they still ended up losing. Remember, because of the way the I7 played, right?
Yeah.
And you even showcased it. I can't remember exactly who it was, but there were 3 tanks, and the I7 took all the hits, and then he played the J1 corner. He played the offside while the 277s both got on cap. And I'm pretty sure they won that game. And so it's this thing, little things like that to notice. As we can see, Serve is taking some fire here.
It's almost like Tomatitos are listening to you, because after that initial, they just kind of are going, you know what, we need to start stacking South now, and they're bringing some of their slower guns down there, and so much depends on this initial punish on the crossing.
Correct.
And if they're able to get it, and we see Kenway maybe in one of the spots trying to dislodge, because it's about getting the sightlines, and you can see that G1 is really there to just stare at. It's kind of like J3-4, K3-4, you know, like it's one of those gaps that they're just kind of looking at, trying to get punished as tanks come in. But December and Major Pain taking the route where they will not get punished, because no one is here to stop it.
No one is here to stop it. The only problem with this is the fact that they don't have anybody in the corner, so once the defensive team crosses, they basically can just side scrape and just get free resets, right? Kind of getting that dark era, or dark area that he was in when Dark Ninja played J1 in his 60 TP.
And Sheep's going to lead the charge. He's going to cross first. He will take 1 hit for his troubles getting into the first spot. Will he take another volley? Double I7. And he is excited! That is not good for Tomatitos, and really good for Burbology. Wow.
Holy crap, you are way in front of me.
Oh, wait? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. It's okay.
I'm in the future. We'll figure out the sync. We'll sync it after this.
Did they get resets?
3 seconds, a few seconds on the cap. And the resets do come out. Of course, Hector taking a bunch of punish, but Burbology just in commanding position now. Once they got that immediate kill, it's just, yeah, you can continue your cap pressure, but look at the initiative they're showing. They're clearly saying, yeah, the cap is not the game anymore. We're up a full gun. Let's just make sure we kill him. And yeah, they're up double the HP of Tomatitos, and it's over.
Yeah, it looks pretty over here.
So now we see some of the reasons why we saw, like you pointed out, Dark Ninja playing down there. Why sometimes a tank is put at that position at the start is because of exactly what you just saw. When you just sit at G1 staring at the J4, K4 crossing, Burbology, the attacking team, can kind of sniff it out, figure out where tanks are, and they then just simply push off the 60 TP, and they come in on the H line, and no one gets any punish, and they're on the cap, and you have to move in, and really well done by Burbo.
Yeah, really done. Well done. To be honest with you, I thought the 5A, when I saw them bringing the 5A Luxon, I thought that he was actually going to initially push down the J1, because I think you could actually play that corner a little bit with some gun depression. And then plus the 240 heat, you know what I mean? He'd be more likely to pen his resets. But I thought that's what he was going to be used for. But having these two guys over here on the, you know, D lane, I think it's one of those things, though, where we've constantly seen both teams fighting it out on the K line. It kind of sucked that Tomatitos was on defense first, because it's kind of like, I think that they were worried that Burbo was going to do something different, like non-meta, right? What you would consider non-meta.
Yeah. And it's important to note, Burbo were able to pull this off with a pretty freaking light lineup. Like they had a CS for the early eyes to know for sure whether something got in the south or not, and that CS played by Muscles, topping the damage meters yet again, 3,400 and a kill. But October, less than 100 damage behind him, getting a kill and 3,333 in his VZ. Major 3K and a kill. I mean, all three of those are
easy for him.
Yeah, and those top three especially, really well done. Kenway and OP, though, not far behind. And even December with the lowest damage, but 2 kills. And meanwhile, yeah, you can see Tomatitos just no one really able to get anything going, all things considered. Except
try
they technically did
refresh it and see if I can hopefully
we'll test to make sure that we'll test the timer when we get into the next round. So yeah.
So how did you feel about that first game? I think Burbo is not playing games. It's the best way to put it.
And you know what?
Really good execution.
Tomatitos like loses a round. They seem to always, like, when they lose a round, a lot of times they lose a round. Like, remember, even in the games where they get to a tiebreaker or something, the rounds they lose are like that one we just saw. But the ones they win sometimes are really close. It's not necessarily because of luck. It's because, like, when whatever they're doing does not work, it really, really, really doesn't work. We're getting into tank.
I can get with that.
Yeah, I know it sounds kind of BSy, but Tomatito's writing up double VZ first, Burbology double VZ double IS7, and we saw a little bit at the beginning. We saw teams stack the north a bit more, but with really fast tanks to counter push south, and then we saw teams at the beginning doing that southern defense, right, where they commit, like, not even necessarily just one tank into that spot in the south, but maybe multiples, because they're just more concerned about southern cap.
Right.
But they have to be fast enough to get back, and then you run a lot of other issues, and oh my god. Smiley.
Yeah.
New tank. Who dis?
The Foch B?
Yeah.
It's probably it's on defense, so it's probably there to punish crossing.
I think that's gotta be the reason, right? That's
it's either there to punish crossing, or it's there to delete a tank when they try to fast cap. And like, what's gonna happen is the Foch is just gonna like 2 heavies are gonna go first, and then the Foch is just gonna come up behind and just clip somebody out.
Yeah,
because if you think about it, this is like a fast cap map.
HP. Yeah.
And like, those are the only 2 things I can think of. Like, they're bringing it for bleed, or they're gonna play aggressive, and they're gonna look for a pick. Like, they might play like super aggro, and they might have found a spot where they put him in. I mean,
Tomatitos have been the team that have shown they will go for fast caps, and their lineup has double 277, which, granted, Burbology had a similar lineup on their attack, but it could be that. But actually, you can see from the initials, it's not. And look, actually, Muscles is in reserve, so I think it's the second option you said. Oh, timer. 7:36, 5, 4, 3.
We are good.
We're good. We're good.
We are good. And it looks like, oh, no way. It's like they can read the minds of the Tomatitos. That is unfortunate.
October a little overpoked there by mistake, or no? I'm not sure.
You have to remember, he is the caller, so he might have been pinging the map and stuff. You know what I mean? You know how it be.
True. Yes.
Yeah, you know, he's like sitting in the spot and he's like being about. He's like, so if they do this, we need to make sure we need to do this, and you need to make sure you need to go. You know, stuff like that. That's why, you know, that's why there's some people that are like, you know, sometimes they're like decent callers, and they maybe could even be good or great. But if they're like really nutty at the game, like it's better to just keep them as a player more than a caller, right?
Yeah, and to focus on it. And sometimes when you get like really in sync, it's like when someone has died and they can help take over. Because I always appreciate that when it's a 4-on-4 at the end, and I have like 2 or 3 of my teammates dead, and I know that they're capable of kind of microing and flexing because they can see the other things happening. It's nice to be able to
Octo's
relinquish
shooting
that
some
when
blind
you play your
fires, no
tank.
connections though, unfortunately. He
So-
is like he's trying to blind fire the guy that blind fires. Because, you know, Serve is just like nutty when it comes to blind fires. Tomatitos is actually one of those teams that's why I think they've even talked about like why they should probably pick Murrow more. And I'm really surprised they didn't pick Murrow. They actually are the ones that banned Murrow. And I think that
Correct.
the times we've seen them on Murrow, they've been really solid, and it's kind of interesting to see that they didn't pick Murrow, because even on Wednesday night, you know, some of their team members were like, we just need to pick Murrow more.
Oh, that's interesting. And yeah, you can see they're disengaging, but for the most part, Burbology, they've disengaged at the same time with at least one VZ. They have one VZ that's completely out of the fight at A3 whenever this south play comes in. But because they didn't have an initial south for Tomatitos, they also weren't able to really damage Kenway's 60 TP. And we see both teams bringing a 60 TP for the same position. We've seen 705As played there as well. It's a very strong position to kind of prevent a cap fast and also give you just good control of no sneaky business happening or teams getting into some other spots in kind of the center part of the map. But yeah, they're going to be going K-line here. And Major's just waiting. And he'll get a shot for sure, but just Super Conqueror staying on the hill in the back. Sheep, the caller.
And they're literally gonna do 5 boys across, it looks like. Or no, maybe they're gonna have Luxon go up to that perch.
You can see Kenway what angle he has, so when that push does come in, he does have a full pre-aim shot, and he is definitely just focusing on making his shot count.
It's kind of interesting that they're not gonna root like Burbo did to them, though. I don't know if they lit that or not, like how they rooted in.
I'm surprised he didn't destroy the boxes either. Here they go.
Serve's gonna take a lot of punish, especially if he gets that out. Looks like like he got a crit on that, maybe.
This is really similar to what we saw on Wednesday on this, with the guy in the back taking the hit, but it was a IS7, not a 277. He's gonna have some issues with the corner there, but it's 3 on, it's not 2 on, and there's a bunch of guns out of the fight. They should be able to make it there in time for resets, but there's 15 seconds left, and they're going to have to get it from someone.
This is actually a really nice play by Sheep. So he's basically going to be farming the guys farming the guys.
Yes, they're able to get the reset, and they're pushing off, and they are going.
Oh, they're gonna go straight one line, and then Luxon. So they're gonna probably turn around and then pick Sheep here.
Yes, you can see OP and December listening to you in your comms exactly. And I think OP did not make that shot count. He tries to continue, but yeah, Major will be an isolation and a pick here. So the cap is really no longer a thing.
So really, this is a really interesting play, because it's coming down to like who gets the better pick. And I mean, Sheep is a harder pick, I think, than Major Pain here.
Was that a heat shell into his track? I think he didn't make that one count.
No, he didn't, but it's okay. He goes down before he gets another shot off. Luxon actually kind of losing there to December, but his boy's trying to help him out. The Foss trying to get a clip out. He only has 3 left. I don't know if he's going to force or not. I don't think
this is the awkward thing about a tank like this, is that you're in a situation, yeah, do you reload? Not obviously no, because he was able to get out that clip.
But you also have to remember, it has like a 33.4 second reload, so it's kind of a lot. I mean, that's a tank dead if they let him reload. Looks like he's going under Sebastian, and Sebastian does.
Oh, he rushes.
He needs to make those count, actually.
HP dead even. Burbology down 1 gun. Oh, not quite dead even anymore, as Muscles takes another hit. But just like that, even with the hardening and stuff, and he's at 2100 total, now he's down to 1200 just after taking 2 shots of damage. And Sebastian's still a 3 shot for him.
December is going to go down here soon. Fluky taking advantage of all his HP and playing really aggro and making sure December goes down, then most likely Octo is going to be the pick, or a lot of people are going to probably try to hear, oh my Jesus, 10-year shots.
He was on a downslope. That angle's really bad, and he's taking a lot more damage. Muscles kills Sebastian, but he dies in turn. And down goes the IS-7, but ooh, that got a little close. Now it's double VZ left alive for Burbo.
Right, and Fluky took a lot of damage here. He actually could be clipped out. So him and Serve are probably... I don't think they can repressure Cap. They're going to have to... Maybe they repressure Cap with 2 of their one-shots, and then Serve and Fluky kind of play...
Serve is still a high roll, right, for a VZ clip at 1043, but like definitely doable. 1200 though is just not
definitely doable. I mean, all it takes
Cap
is one of them to hit for like over 550 or something like that, and this is GG.
Yeah. So they'll have to be putting the point.
Oh no! Please don't have to pick. Oh my god!
Goes down.
And it looks like its Serve is gonna get. Oh, he actually bounced him.
He misses.
No, he like bounced his booty.
Be able to reload here, I don't think.
No, he won't be able to reload in time. It's actually going to be really close,
though. Because Serve has Adrenaline Rush, too.
Correct. So it probably dropped like another, what, second and so off the thing?
Yeah.
It looks like OP trying to get his shots off. Ooh, looking
30 seconds on the cap.
Holding his shell here, trying to pick Serve. He's probably going to force here. If he goes around at J1, they might actually have to... They have to stay on the cap. But if he goes to J1, it's actually... Ooh.
This cap timer is so close to the game timer. And the cap timer's not exactly... And Serve gets on. What a play! Serve gets on. That's going to probably do it. They have it. Just like that, with no time to spare. I told you, when Tomatitos wins, it's very close. Smiley.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even know, like, just break, post-game stats. Okay, OP did 3,600. We saw him miss a couple shots, but he was last alive. IS-7, December, 3,200. Really fast. Muscles got out 2,300 in his Foch. October, 2K. Major, 2K. Kenway, only 1,200. Luxon got out 36. He farmed in that Super Conqueror. Serve, 2,700. Sebastian, almost 3K. Hector, 2K. Okay. I did the post-game stats because I just want Smiley to just break down.
Okay, so...
What just happened?
So what happened was... It was a really good execution by Tomatitos. Like, the way that they... So, Sheep is, like, one of those guys that a lot of people recognize as, like, a nutty caller. What he did was he isolated himself in a really strong position that they had to kill. Because if they would have ignored him, a Super Conqueror that was behind half their team... The game would have went so much differently, and we would be seeing him probably with even more damage than Luxon, right? You know what I mean? Because he had booties, like all he would do. So they had to pick him. And like I was saying before, Major Pain was a easier pick than Sheep. Even though Sheep did less damage, it took longer for them to kill him, right? And it's just one of those things where also more of Tomatito's team was in the fight for more consistently, right? In the fight for a longer period of time. And then another thing that was really interesting is OP was trying to play time, right? He was trying to play time so that all he had to do was reset once on that ridge, and then it would have been GG. He would have had to back off. That's all he would have had to do, and then it would have been his win. But the problem is, I don't think he anticipated that Serve was going to get to the cap that fast.
I didn't even think Serve could get to the cap that fast, but just that 277 alive with like 30 HP or something like that.
Right. It got really sketchy Serve there when Fluky had like what, 20 almost, he had like full HP, and then he like kept on bouncing.
Yes, that was sometimes
when he kept on bouncing December, wasn't it?
Was Major?
No, Major died.
Maybe
remember?
It was December.
He was the one that,
Yeah.
It was December. He kept on bouncing December, and he went from about 2,000 HP to 1,200. Because I think OP also shot him, and then December shot him. And it was like one of those things where, like, he should have been able to kill December and still have 2000 HP, but then he went to 1200. It became such a really close game. Also, Hector not hiding behind the ridge, but getting on cap in the open. Like, he should have realized that both VZs really couldn't get out. I don't know if he was like, because the way he positioned there, I think it was just like bad timing, maybe.